Imagine being asleep in your own home, thinking you are completely safe, while fire is silently crawling through the walls behind you. No sirens, no shouts, no warning, just seconds standing between life and death. And the only one who notices in time is a dog. Not a trained rescue dog, not a firefighter, just a loyal companion who refuses to let his human die. And what happened next shocked even the firefighters who arrived on the scene, because without this dog's courage and perfect timing, this story would have ended very differently. It was a quiet night in a small suburban neighborhood, the kind of night where everything feels normal and predictable. The owner, a middle-aged man living alone, had gone to bed after a long, exhausting day. His dog, a mixed-breed rescue he had adopted a few years earlier, curled up nearby like he always did. This dog had once been abandoned, scared, unsure of humans, and now this house was his entire world. And that man sleeping inside was his person. Sometime after midnight, something went wrong. A faulty electrical outlet in the living room sparked. At first, it was just a tiny flame, barely visible. Then the smoke started building. Thick, dark smoke filling the lower part of the house, moving faster than anyone could imagine. Smoke is dangerous because it doesn't make noise. It doesn't give warnings. It just takes oxygen away quietly. The man kept sleeping, but the dog didn't. Dogs sense things we can't. The smell of burning plastic hit his nose before the smoke alarms even reacted. He lifted his head. His body went tense. Something wasn't right. He ran toward the living room and saw a flickering light and smoke spreading across the ceiling. Instinct kicked in. He didn't panic. He didn't freeze. He ran straight back to the bedroom. At first, he tried gently, nudging his owner with his nose. No response. The man turned slightly. Still asleep. The dog tried again. Harder this time. Whining, the smoke getting thicker, the heat rising. This was no longer about comfort. This was about survival. The dog began barking loudly and urgently, something he almost never did at night. He jumped onto the bed, scratching and pawing at his owner's chest. And that's when the man finally woke up. Confused for half a second until he smelled the smoke, and that half second mattered. As soon as his eyes opened, the dog ran toward the door and looked back, barking again as if saying, "Follow me now." The man stumbled out of bed disoriented, coughing as smoke burned his lungs. Flames were already climbing the walls, and instead of running outside alone, the dog grabbed the man's pajama sleeve with his teeth and pulled hard. Not playfully, but desperately. The man lost his balance, but that pull snapped him fully awake. He followed the dog toward the back door, the only exit not yet blocked by fire. They reached it just as the smoke alarms finally exploded into sound. They collapsed onto the grass outside, coughing and shaking but alive, and within minutes the house was fully engulfed. Before we go any further, if you believe animals are more than just pets, if you believe loyalty and courage come in all shapes and sizes, make sure to like this video and subscribe to Logic Unlocked right now. Because stories like this deserve to be shared, and your support helps us bring more real, powerful moments like this to light. Firefighters later said the blaze spread faster than expected due to electrical wiring. And when they heard how the man escaped, they weren't surprised because they had seen it before. Dogs saving humans. And still, every time it feels unbelievable. The man kept replaying the night in his head, realizing how close he came to ignoring the dog, how close he was to rolling over and falling back asleep. And he said, the scariest part wasn't the fire, but knowing his life depended entirely on an animal most people would call just a dog. A dog with no training manuals, no emergency plans. Only the instinct that his human was in danger and leaving him behind was not an option. In the days that followed, the stories spread from the neighborhood to local news, and far beyond. Not because it was dramatic, but because it was real. Pure instinct and pure loyalty. And the man admitted something else. He had almost not adopted this dog. At the shelter, the dog was quiet and nervous. Overlooked, no flashy tricks, just uncertain eyes. But something told him to take a chance. And that choice made years ago became the reason he was still breathing. Even after the house was gone, the dog refused to leave his side, sleeping close every night as if making sure the danger was truly over. And the man said he no longer calls himself the owner, but the one who was saved. Because heroes don't always wear uniforms. Sometimes they walk on four legs, sometimes they come from shelters, and sometimes they were once the ones who needed saving. If this story made you feel something or reminded you of your own pet, let us know in the comments. We read them all here at Logic Unlocked. And if you think someone else needs to hear this, please share this video. Because sometimes the difference between life and death is not luck, it's love.